Welcome to the No Holds Barred podcast, where the real gets real, bringing you the new feel. Welcome to the new era of podcasting. This your boy Dane
E,
and we here to give you our very first episode. Yo, we made it.
We made it. We did. It's time.
But are you ready?
Do I look ready?
No, you don't. That's why I had to ask you. I had to ask you.
Here we go. We already starting now.
No. Listen. There's no reason why we got to do this as brothers and we can't get along.
Okay.
Now, I understand that a lot of the topics and debates that we may go over, I'm going to be the superior one. Okay. But I'm here to guide you because one day I'm not going to be here and I want you to be able to follow along in my footsteps. So, before we start off, is there anybody you want to give a special thanks to? Because it's our first episode. We got a couple of people. I at least got a couple of people I want to thank. I felt for giving us the little push. First off, I want to thank my pops for supplying us the space for the podcast. Moms for shouting it out to all her friends and co-workers. Big ups to my boy Kern, who submitted music for the intro. My boy Sheem on helping us produce the shirts and the hats that you see us wearing. My homegirl Shanetta. Everybody, I appreciate the love and support that you guys have given us. My man's on the mic, my man Mac, everybody, I appreciate y'all so much. What about you, bro?
Man, same thing, all the people that he mentioned, shout out to you guys, y'all really helped push us to get us to this point. Right. We just want to bring out that good content for everybody and let them enjoy, get some laughs, just see the bickering between two brothers here. Obviously, I want to thank myself just for blessing, this podcast, blessing with my presence, being able to school this man here. It's just going to be magical, man, You ain't like that?
This is my thing.
I thought that was perfect.
No, hold on. No, time out. Okay? We can't do this if you're going to sit here and lie to these people.
Who'd I lie to?
No, we're not going to do that.
What happened?
What we're going to do is you're going to state your little punk-ass facts that you're going to have, and I'm going to back it up with the real facts, and we're going to go about it like that. And then the people are going to be able to see who the superior one and who's following and who's shadow. All of that you're talking about, nobody want to hear that.
What do you mean nobody want to hear
Listen,
that? How you going to cue me and then when I say what I want to say, you going to just dismiss
Because
everything?
What you're talking about is bullshit. Nobody want to hear what you got to say.
Oh my God. All right. So why you got me?
Listen, you here because I asked you to be here. All right? God. And Mom's wouldn't let me have it without you being on the, you had my son on the, okay, Mom, whatever, I'll, give him his little thing.
I don't know if you got something going on in your life you ain't want to tell nobody about. Maybe you was contemplating, suicide or something. You just, this is the year.
Wow.
So now I'm here to, take care of this for you, man. Don't worry about it.
Listen. Let's get into it then.
Let's get into it.
So listen, I believe me and you are big fans of the UFC. Would you agree?
I would agree.
I would agree too.
I mean, I'm a fan. I kind of got him into it. You know what I mean?
You got who into it?
He was like,
I was watching the UFC when you were watching Nickelodeon.
Okay, so everybody has those casual viewers, right?
You had Rugrats and Blue's Clues. Okay. Should I bring up the picture of you in the Halloween costume, dressed as Blue?
Anyway, so everybody has those casual viewers. Everybody knows them. When, boxing comes on and it's a Floyd Mayweather fight, there's always going to be some random guy that don't watch boxing. He going to tune into the fight. That was him. Anderson Silva, somebody like that fights, and, all right, he tuned in. Then when Conor and all these guys got in there, and Ronda, and I'm watching it, I'm telling him about it, and he starts to watch it. Now he's a UFC fan. Now he want to watch every event. So now he want to follow in my footsteps and think he know UFC, and he don't know anything.
So let me ask you this. If I'm following your footsteps, then why do I know more about UFC than you do?
Oh my God. Who told you that? Has anybody ever told you that?
No, but it seems like every time that we watch a fight and you make a prediction,
you don't never get a prediction. Ain't the last time you got a prediction.
You're wrong.
Ain't the last time you got a prediction.
You're wrong. Listen, I go on Betonline. I put all my predictions down.
You lose every bet.
Okay, so then why am I making money? Why is there money?
You ain't making no money. You ain't making. When's the last time you won a bet?
So I'll tell you what.
When's the last card? When's the last card?
Now we have something on record.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna see.
Okay.
All right, bet. So look, I want to take a look at UFC 265.
Okay.
It's August 7th on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
That card is headlined with Derek Lewis and Ciroc game.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be fire.
I like that fight.
Toyota Center.
And mind you, I told you that was going to be the fight to happen, and you didn't think so.
I didn't say. Oh my goodness!
I told you that was going to be the fight to happen.
Already?
Wow.
We lying already?
Okay.
We lying already?
Okay, so let me ask you something. Who do you like in that fight?
I've always said Ciroc game coming up, even way before he's gotten this shot. I thought he was gonna be the one that could challenge Francis Ngannou the best. Now, in this fight particularly, the only thing that's been a little worrisome about Ciroc game for me is the power. He don't seem like he got that sting for the heavyweights. He's got all the skill set. He's got the footwork, the in and out movement, the counter fighting, but it's the power. And you going against a guy like Derek Lewis, it only take one shot. We saw it with Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades was tearing him up, striking, piecing him up, everything, doing everything perfectly. Shot one bad shot, got caught with the uppercut, sleep. Now, Ciroc game, I think he's got the skill set to beat Lewis, and I think he's going to be able to stay on the outside long enough. Just Lewis going to get a little tired, or he's just going to be a little too tentative. I see Ciroc game.
So I will agree with you with this, right? I do see Ciroc game managing distance pretty well to start. However, Derek Lewis has looked great his past few fights. I think with the cams and losing the weight, additional weight that he's lost, his conditioning seems to be a little better. Not only his conditioning, but the way that he's pacing in his fights seems to be a lot more patient. I actually like Derek Lewis for a major upset. To me, being that Ciroc game is undefeated. That's why I say upset. Being that he's undefeated. Of course, we don't know what the lines look like right now, but I honestly think Derek Lewis could win this fight. And if he doesn't,
anybody can win the fight. We didn't ask who could.
I think Derek Lewis will win the fight.
Like,
and honestly, but let me tell you this. But let me tell you this, right?
Can win.
I think if Derek Lewis loses, it kind of sucks for him.
Of course. Because
he had the spot against Francis and it was taken away. And
Did he though? Right. Did he though? Or was the UFC just playing coy to try to get John to just say, all right, let me go ahead and take the fight?
We don't know what John is doing. Honestly,
John is running. Like, I mean, look, respect to John, he's man, but John's running. Nobody wants to fight Francis Ngannou.
Okay, me and you spoke about this before. We spoke about this
Francis
before.
Don't even like shadow bombs.
I don't know if John is running per se, but would you jump in the ring and just fight Francis for your first heavyweight fight without training, making sure you're conditioning, making sure you can carry that weight, and just, I don't know if he's running. I think he's doing the smart thing and taking his time before taking on someone like Francis. We seen what happened when you bit off too much that you could chew too early, like Izzy going up and fighting Jan, which I felt if he took more time, maybe added a little weight, he could have possibly won that fight because it wasn't a landslide, but I think he rushed it. He should have paced himself a little bit and then took that fight with Jan. That's my personal opinion.
I don't think that had anything to do. I mean, obviously you're going to bring up the ground game and Jan being able to keep him on the ground for a little bit with the strength and the weight there. But I don't think weight was the main reason. Jan just came with a very good, as far as game plan, striking wise, he was very good defensively. Izzy wasn't able to get off the same way he was with all the other middleweight contenders there. It's a little bit of a difference there. It was just a skill set difference. He finally was going up against somebody that ain't going to just get caught. I mean, obviously the weight means something, but Izzy ain't going to sit there and gain, he ain't going to be coming up there bulk. He's not going to look much different than what he did as far as weight-wise in the future if he goes back to light heavyweight. Jan is just, we got to give Jan his props. You can't keep making excuses.
No, I didn't take anything away from Jan. I'm just saying it should have been, with as quick as Izzy took that fight, Jan should have been able to dominate and finish that fight.
Finish? But that's
because
just
on the ground,
Izzy,
listen, that round, which was it, round
that was the
4 or the final round, saved round. Izzy.
But that was like the last, that was like Jan's last effort.
Because if you want to use that, then you would say the same thing with Shevchenko and Nunes, right? You'll say that, hey, that round saved Nunes, where if it went longer, Shevchenko would have won, right or wrong.
Which round? What are you talking about? Which fight?
Was it the first fight where everybody thought if the fight went on longer, Nunes would have lost the fight?
I don't remember that narrative there. I remember people just thinking Shevchenko won.
But what I'm saying is, if that fight went on a little longer, Jan could have won. And if he had took a more aggressive approach in the beginning, I think he would have been able to finish Izzy. And nothing against I like Izzy like you have. And I give you credit. I go this far. This might be the only time I ever do this. You did tell me about Izzy and put me on. I give you that. You hear me telling him that. I give you that. You did tell me about Izzy.
I put him on everything.
I damn near raised you.
Oh my God, but I put you onto this.
When mom and dad was at work I damn near raised you.
Oh my God.
Picked you up, showed you how to shoot a free throw, tapped you on your butt when you didn't dribble right.
You can't do yourself.
All right. Listen, let's move on to the next card. The next fight. We got Amanda Nunes versus Julian.
Okay.
I don't even know
why are we talking about this?
Why this fight would be relevant.
Why are we talking about this?
By the way, Amanda Nunes.
Oh goodness.
I would love to have you as a guest. I know this is my first episode, but I'm in Florida. You're in Florida. Let's make it happen. I would love to have you on the show. With that being said, this fight isn't even worth mentioning. Juliana Pena, if she can make it out of the first round alive, Amanda Nunes ends this fight rather quickly.
Yeah, this is one of those fights where you're just throwing somebody at them to say, look, we got to give them a contender. We ain't got nobody else to throw at her. Look, unless Jermaine Duranami ever gets a ground game, or if they throw her with Shevchenko, you're really not going to see anybody giving her any type of problems anytime soon right now. It's just not. There's nobody up there right now to give her that problem. This is just here's a contender to keep you fighting. Move on.
Yeah, not much to disagree with there. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm overlooking it.
No, move on.
Okay, so no upset there, you're saying?
No.
That's sad. That's sad.
It's not. I mean, you got to give it. I mean, Amanda is just, her power is just crazy. Like, I don't think she's the most technical. Like I said, I think Jermaine Duranami, if she had a ground game, or at least very good with her anti takedown, you know, I mean, she would be the one to beat her, because she's still got power. She don't got as much power as Amanda, but her striking is just better than Amanda's. But her ground game, I mean, like, she can't stop a takedown at all. I mean, her dog could probably take her down. It's bad.
So let me ask you this, and you know where I'm going when it comes to Amanda Nunes.
Oh no.
Top 5 man or woman ever in the UFC. Does she make the list? Top 5. Male or
was what,
female?
Though? What are you talking about? Are you talking about skill set? Are we talking about accomplishments? What are we talking about?
Fighter. When you say top 5 UFC fighters of all time, does she make the list? This is disrespectful. This is disrespectful to me. Amanda Nunes, I'm going to say it, and not just because I want you on the show, but Amanda Nunes is top 5 fighters of all time.
No particular order. Who's the 5?
I'm going John Jones. I'm going Amanda Nunes.
Okay.
I'm going George St. Pierre. Khabib Nurmagomedov. And Anderson Silva.
Oh my God.
Anderson Silva.
Oh my God.
That 5th spot is a flex.
Khabib, George St. Pierre, Demetrius Johnson.
Oh goodness.
John Jones.
Demetrius that got beat by Henry Cejudo, the one that just got knocked out in
the
one.
one he knocked out right before then. Yeah, that guy.
Jesus
the one that Henry Cejudo barely beat him in the decision, when most people thought that Demetrius Johnson won. Yeah,
the only person that didn't think he won was you.
Everybody thought he.
You were the only one that didn't think he won.
Everybody thought he.
Me and you went to that fight.
I went to the fight.
We were out there.
I saw the fight. Yes.
And we went to it.
I saw.
And I called it. I said, "Yo, Henry Cejudo won."
A hater.
No. But I called it. But I called it.
Whoever he's hating on will say that, hey, that guy lost the fight.
He sucks.
He sucks. Demetrius Johnson sucks.
He's okay.
Demetrius Johnson sucks.
He's okay. He didn't beat the most elite people. He's okay. Demetrius Johnson fought average people.
And Amanda Nunes is beating the most elite people?
Amanda Nunes has beaten everybody.
So did Demetrius
Cyborg
Johnson.
was
So
the
did
most
Demetrius
feared
Johnson.
female.
So did Demetrius Johnson. You can only beat
So give me your top 5. So finish your list. So finish your list.
Okay, so I had what? John Jones, George St. Pierre, Demetrius Johnson, and who was my 4th? Khabib Nurmagomedov. So now my 5th one. I can't put
put Amanda Nunes there?
I'm thinking. Let me make sure. Silva, I can't put in there. He disqualified himself. Oh, I'll give him credit. Shout out to him for winning that boxing fight against, was it Chavez?
Which is embarrassing. That's embarrassing. His
embarrassing.
father should disown him and tell him to stop boxing because it's terrible. Disown him because he's just a disgrace to the Chavez name.
That was bad. I'm not gonna lie.
And first of all, you can never make weight. Then you gotta be the one to upset the boxers, right? Because When these UFC players try to go over there and fight with the boxers, they put them in their place. Your conditioning is not up to par. You can't go 12 rounds with a boxer. You don't have the same hand-eye as a boxer. And you go over there and lose to a 41-something-year-old Anderson Silva?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Are you kidding me?
That's pretty bad.
His father can beat him.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
That's pretty bad.
His father's terrible.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, he's terrible.
I mean, that's pretty bad. But back to the subject.
But
all right, you know,
I mean,
what?
look at Amanda Nunes.
She can slide in the 5th spot because also the accomplishment. I got to give her for the accomplishment there. She can slide.
Drain the man to me. Kat Zingano.
Kat Zingano beat her.
Hold on.
Kat Zingano beat her.
Ronda Rousey.
Early.
Misha Tate. Valentina.
Valentina beat her.
Okay, she lost.
No, she beat her.
Valentina again. We got Cyborg.
I'll give her that
Pennington.
one. No.
Drain the man to me again. Holly Holm. Felicia Spencer. I mean, she's beaten. Who else is there? That's the one thing about Amanda Nunes that you can say, right? Past or present. Who else is there for Amanda Nunes to fight that she hasn't fought that you would have said was a worthy opponent? You can do that with other fighters where you can say, damn, what if George St. Pierre fought Khabib? What could happen? But you can't say with any other female fighter.
That's not.
But hold on.
That's the development of female fighters.
But what I'm saying,
we're talking about male fighters who
But what I'm saying is you can't go back and look and say, damn, Amanda Nunes, if she fought this girl, that could have been a good fight. No, all the people that we would have said that about, she beat. You would have said that about Ronda Rousey if Ronda Rousey never returned.
It has to be a little bit longer period before you can do something like that. With the women, it hasn't been that long.
How much longer
they haven't
do you
been
think she's
fighting
gonna
as much. But that's like saying at that time, Ronda Rousey, when you comparing her with all those other girls. Now we look back at it and we're like, darn, those girls really just weren't that good skill set wise. It's the same thing. It's like when you look at Anderson Silva now, you talk about how great of a striker he was. I mean, he was a great striker. But he was going against a lot of cardboards. Dudes just, they didn't have no type of hands. Now, when you look at these guys nowadays, I mean, what are we talking about now? Now, would you put Anderson Silva in there against a Whittaker? Would you put Anderson Silva in there against an Adesanya? And even in the prime, you saying that he's beating those guys now? Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was again the time that I was watching UFC and you were in diapers.
No, when you was just casually watching it once in a blue moon.
Casually or not, I knew who he was. I watched his fights, and yes, I think he could have beat some of these people. He definitely could have beat Bobby Knuckles. I absolutely believe that. Absolutely believe that. Okay?
Yeah.
Moving on. We got Jose Aldo, Pedro Munoz.
I like this fight.
That actually has potential to be a nice fight.
I like potential to be a nice fight.
I'm just saying if Jose Aldo's jaw holds up.
Jaw holds up?
I think Pedro's going to rock him.
Pedro's going to rock him?
I think he's going to rock him.
I got Jose Aldo winning this one. I'm going to say by decision I like Pedro's ability to, I don't think he's like chinny. But I think if this is going to be mainly a kickboxing match, Pedro had a good showing against Jimmy Rivera. I like the use of the leg kicks there. He was very, very, very effective against Jimmy Rivera.
He chopped Jimmy down.
Rendered him useless there, but I don't think you want to get in a kicking match with Jose. Now, Jose's been a minute
since his kicks have been missing lately.
Yeah, Jose, I don't know what his kicks been. He lost his legs. I don't know what's going on. He need to find him, put an alert out there.
He needs to go holler at Edson Barbosa,
he need to go do something.
who, by the way, got a good fight that was just announced.
Chikese?
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
That's a real good fight.
Barbosa going to win that. But Jose against Pedro, I'm going to give it to Jose. I think he had a good showing against Peter Yan. Peter Yan beat him, but he showed up against Peter Yan. He gave Peter Yan a good fight.
I hear you, but Peter Yan right now, I see as the champion for the foreseeable future.
We can't do that. You gotta be smart enough. If you're gonna be a champion, it's not just about ability. You gotta be smart enough to know.
Don't tell his corner that was telling him to knee the dude on the ground.
So what?
But you're absolutely right.
Shoot this guy in his face. You're
absolutely right on that, right? But let's be real. Rematch. Aljo's out of there. He's out of there in a rematch. Yan's gonna destroy him.
I don't know. He could come with a different game plan. Obviously, he's gonna know what it is.
He looked so uncomfortable fighting Peter Yan. It wasn't.
He looked like he was trying to push the pace, and obviously it didn't work.
That's a bad little Russian. I don't want no problems with Peter Yan. I like Peter Yan, the still champion, in my opinion.
Okay.
Next fight, I think, is another good fight. Michael Chiesa versus Vicente Luque.
That's tough. Man.
That's a tough one.
Michael Chiesa's been on fire, but Vicente Luque, I mean, obviously Stephen Thompson, my dog, Wonder Boy, he gonna win that against Gilbert Burns, by the way. Anyway, Vicente Luque, If it goes to the ground, we obviously know what's going to happen. But does it go to the ground?
You know, Chiesa's got the size, I feel, to take any opponent down to the ground.
But you got to get there.
But
Vicente Luque hits hard, man, and he is no slouch.
That is a good
Michael
fight.
Chiesa's been on fire though, man. It's tough. Like I don't know how I want to.
I'm stuck with that one.
No,
I'm
but
stuck.
but you can't be stuck. You got to make a pick, because you was doing all
Like
this
that's
bragging
one of
and
the
talking
fights
about-
that I would be like, yo, I got to see them at weigh-in. That's like one of the fights. I can.
No. So you're just gonna be here and you're gonna be scared. You're gonna be scared.
I can't wait.
So you're scared.
I don't know.
Are you scared?
I don't know who's gonna win that fight.
Scared.
No, I just do not know.
So he's scared. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. Have the cojones to actually say a winner. Since
it's about time you got something. You're old enough. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway,
they must have just dropped during the episode.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give Vicente Luque the win for this one.
You going Vicente?
I'm gonna go Vicente finish.
I'm going Michael Chiesa then,
Because he's oh my god.
So the next one, I can't stand this woman, Angela Hill,
My girl.
versus the return of Tisha Torres.
My girl Angela.
I'm never gonna bet on Angela Hill. I'm going Tisha Torres.
I'm going Angela.
I think Angela Hill is a bum.
This is so complete bias.
I just don't understand how she's winning these fights. Yes.
A bum. You can't even give her credit for being back to back with all these fights.
No.
Well, and she was winning. She was on a nice little streak and arguably won those last two against Claudia Gadelha and who was the other one she had just?
Ooh, Claudia Gadelha, one of the biggest upsets in the UFC female history. She was supposed to be a star, turned out to be a bum. So no, I don't give her props for beating no Claudia Gadelha. Negative.
I mean, she didn't. She lost, but it was very arguable. And then her against Michelle Waterson was arguable as well. She won her last
Michelle
fight.
Waterson, another one that could have been a star, took too many losses.
Oh my God, you sound like a hater. Anyway, Angela Hill, I'm going Angela Hill.
I'm going Tisha Torres.
This is completely biased. I'm not going.
It is. I'm not lying, but I'm going Tisha Torres.
I like Tisha Torres. She got a little piston right hand there. She's a little strong there, but I like Angela Hill to use her length, and she's been, that's my girl. Forget it, Angela Hill. I'm going Angela Hill.
Okay, good. I hope you stick by that, brother.
Stand on that.
Let's see, any of these other ones worth fight. Sonya versus Casey Kenny.
This one hurts, man, because my boy Dominic Cruz, my boy, the greatest bantamweight of all time, Dominic, the Dominator Cruz, went ahead and came back, put that boy Casey Kennedy, to school real quick. And then he's got Sonya Dong, man. That's my guy, but technically I don't think he's got it there yet. He's got all the potential in the world. But I'm going to go with Casey Kennedy to win this one. Are you okay? Listen, I know you don't like Dominic, man. You're a little bit of a hater there since he beat your boy TJ, the cheater.
Dominic Cruz is such a bum.
He's a bum.
And it kills me how you praise this guy. He needs to stick his ass right back in the chair and stay there as a commentator.
So how'd he come
He is a bum.
So how'd he come back and win?
Because he sat there and did this over. This right here. And Casey Kenny, he wasn't on his A game. Had an off night. That's what
wasn't he on his A game?
That's what I'm putting it to.
Why wasn't he on his A game?
That's what I'm putting it to. Because you got somebody running around the ring like a damn fool.
So you're basically saying his footwork was too elite for him?
No, his footwork. No, he's a bum.
So Mayweather's a runner.
He's a bum. No, because Mayweather can sit in the pocket and dodge punches. This guy runs around the ring like a bum.
Oh my God.
I can't stand him. Dominic Cruz needs to stay as a commentator. He is a beautiful commentator. He says a lot of the right things. How does he come back after
2 years and beat TJ Dillashaw?
We all know TJ won that fight. Watch the fight again. We all know TJ won that fight. Dominic was standing there at the end of the fight looking like he lost.
TJ did win the fight. He won it against Casper because he was swinging at Casper the whole fight. I mean, Casper was knocked out on the ground.
Sleep. Second time you done that. Yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see.
Give Dominic Cruz a score.
We're gonna see.
Because DJ Dillashaw about the, we ain't even gonna talk about that.
All right. Next fight.
Karolina Kowalska, Jessica Penny. I mean, they both. Penny hasn't even fought that often. Like last time, I think before this one, she fought in 2017. Karolina's been on a losing streak 3. I don't even know on this one. This one here, that one's a toss up. Just off of inactivity, and Karolina probably having something to prove. I would say Karolina go ahead and take that, but that's just a toss up on that one.
So basically, my picks again was Derek Lewis, Amanda Nunes.
We don't care about your
Pedro.
picks, we know they're wrong.
Michael Chiesa. I had Tisha Torres with
Michael
easy.
Chiesa because you were scared. I'm sorry.
I had Casey Kenny. So those were my picks, just to be on record with that. The rest of the card, I don't see us having to go over the early prelims. I'm not really impressed by any of those.
Yeah.
people.
So obviously, Cyril Gain, Amanda Nunes, everybody, Jose Aldo, Vicente Luque, Angela Hill, the GOAT, and then Casey Kenny, yeah, and then Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So put them on record there.
So that wraps up the UFC. We'll see what happens come August 7th. We'll have a nice recap about it, and then you can do your apologizing.
We're gonna see how many of
I don't
those
want to hear.
lost. We're gonna literally
I don't want to hear the bitching and moaning. Just say it there, and that's it, and we move on. Okay? You're supposed to be this
You literally just
UFC
gave
fan.
me all of these excuses for why your picks are wrong and why your fighters are losing.
I know. So we'll see what
And then
happens.
you come up to me about excuses.
But check this out. I'm willing to go to Bets Online and put those picks down.
I'm going to put some
Are
betting
you,
right
are,
now
you,
on the
are,
table.
you, are you willing to do so? Are you willing to do so?
bet
We're
right
talking
here.
Vegas odds.
Let's
Are you
shake
willing to do so?
hands.
How
Let's
much you want to
shake
bet? How
hands.
much you want to bet then?
$50 right
Bet
now.
then. Bet.
$50
Bet.
than my picks. I get more picks.
I
right
get
than you.
more picks right than you.
$50,
Bet.
and you're gonna have to put it right here on the
Bet.
table in front of the camera.
Bet. We will pay up on the
Look, he probably
episode.
crossing and everything.
No. Bet. We'll
Bet.
pay up on the next episode
Bet.
when we. This is it. This is easy money. Moving on. I must say, right, and this came slowly, right? I have become a big fan of the Olympics. And not just the basketball, but I enjoy watching almost all the Olympics, whether it's that sport where they're underwater, throw, you know what I mean? Just everything, pole vaulting, I mean, just the track, the swimming, whether it was because of Michael Phelps, because of Gabrielle Douglas and things, I've just become a fan of it. And I think I am excited for the Olympics coming up. Now, to touch base on this really quickly, and I seem to not be able to have this conversation with a Jamaican, right? Because they are very, very passionate
Prideful.
of their athletes. Okay?
Which they should be.
So Sha'Carri Richardson, the young female that got popped for having marijuana in her system, right? And I don't want to get too deep into this, obviously, but I think she was too colorful of a person to be wanted, so to say. And when I look at Sha'Carri Richardson, the person that comes to mind is Allen Iverson. That's what I think of when I see Sha'Carri Richardson. Allen Iverson had a totally different look to him, right? Now, mind you, he came into the league, he had the little fro, whatever, but then when he switched up, had the sleeve, the braids, the tattoos, the long tees wearing to the game, he switched up. And I think Sha'Carri Richardson, with the orange hair, the nails, the piercings, the tattoos, when you think of the Olympics, you just think of all these athletes getting their Olympic tattoos and the Kurt Angle stories and things. She just brought a different image, right? And I brought that up on an Instagram post. You can follow us on Instagram, NHB Podcast.
Follow that.
I brought it up, and a Jamaican female wrote me and said, "You guys are killing me with how you are portraying this to be a racial thing because Jamaicans been doing this, and Usain Bolt even stated that he smoked weed, but he would never do it around the time in which he would be getting tested." Okay, that's cool. But did they have to eliminate her from participating in the relay race? Because marijuana isn't a performance enhancing drug. Let's be real. I mean, she got more credit for popping for marijuana and still beating everybody. You want to be real? I don't see it. I don't see why. And I don't want to get into the whole racial thing. But had this been maybe someone else, I don't think it would have been as major of an issue.
I mean, it's It's a tough subject there because I mean it's like we're at the point now we still really bothering these athletes about smoking weed. I mean you've seen more of these sports now. UFC starting to lean up off of it as far as punishing the fighters not testing for it. I believe it was baseball if I'm not mistaken. One of these other sports there were starting to lean up off of it a little bit as far as with the marijuana. I mean it's at this point now like how much longer are we gonna keep bothering athletes for this? I mean, do I think if it was somebody else it wouldn't have been as big of a deal? I guess. I mean, you know, she's very colorful, like you said, more out there. You know, her name has been blowing up. You know, so always it's like that person when they find success, there's always something comes out that people try to bring them down with. I mean, it's just at the point now we really just got to stop caring about that. If it's not to the point where we can prove, like, look, this person is actually enhancing their performance with this, why are we even caring about it? I mean, I think and especially to snatch her out of the Olympics. I mean, this is some of these athletes, they work hard for this. Comes around every 4 years, and we're gonna.
And there's even longer due to COVID this time.
Exactly. So like they're working their whole lives for this, and you might only get one shot. Maybe those 3 of those 4 years or something. You doing all that training, you get hurt. You don't know what happens. That's a long period in between that occasion there, and to rob them of that's cold, man. That's a lifelong dream to do it. So to do that, I think is cold, and no matter who it is. But yeah, I think maybe if it was somebody else not out there or not as big of a name, they wouldn't have made a big of a deal about it, or it wouldn't as big of a headline. But yeah, no matter what, to me, it's wrong. Just let her go ahead and do her race, and then let her be great.
But you know what, Sha'Carri Richardson, I wish you the absolute best. I know you'll be back. I know you're gonna kill it. And we're going to get to the next one. And I hope she kills it.
I hope she kills it.
Because I watched the race. I tuned in, of course, because of all the hype that it was getting. She did her thing, and she actually came off the block, not as good as other racers, and wound up finishing in record-breaking time, too. So, shout-outs to Sha'Carri Richardson. I hope everything goes well for her. And I know she'll be back, without a doubt. But staying with the Olympics... How you feeling about our team now?
Is this even a subject? I mean, no.
I mean, listen. There isn't a lot of overseas talent that's going to compete with the USA.
I mean, let's keep it honest.
I will say
there's nobody competing with USA.
No,
we could literally send out our bench, like the top bench players, and we probably will still go out there and win. I mean, this roster here compared to even previous years looks like what are we even doing? And we're still gonna go out there and smoke these guys.
Well, you know what? I like the roster.
I didn't say I dislike the roster.
It's not a bad roster.
But if we're comparing it to previous rosters,
every team to the '92 Dream Team.
It ain't gotta be 92.
To Kobe, LeBron, and we can't. Now, a real debate that we can cover on our next episode will be Dream Team versus that team with all LeBron, Kobe, and them, and that'll be a good debate. But as far as this goes, you got Bam Adebayo, you got Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. Shout outs to Devin Booker, Baby Mamba as they call him.
I wouldn't say that.
Not yet,
but
has potential.
As far as what though? What are we talking about here?
His killer instinct to me.
Yeah, but we're not talking about as far as style.
First of all, let me
close to Kobe's like quiet.
Let me say something, okay? Nobody. And I say this, nobody, not even Jordan, had the killer instinct like Kobe Bryant did.
Oh, don't say that.
I don't think so. Because I just felt as if Kobe always wanted it more.
Than Jordan?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I think so.
Like, listen,
I think so.
He lost just saying that.
How?
Move on.
How?
Move on.
How?
Move on. What are you talking about?
Because Kobe had a goal.
How do you know?
Because Kobe had a goal.
How do you know?
We know he wanted to get that 6.
Okay, and?
We know he wanted to get that 6. I understand that, but my thing is, what was Michael's goal? Where did he want to be? Who did he want to catch up to?
Who cares?
Because we're talking about, because of the aspect of the conversation is what we're saying is the killer instinct. Kobe wanted to get that. I don't think
he killed everybody in front of him.
Who?
Jordan.
Kobe did.
What is your point?
My point is I felt he had more of a killer instinct than Michael Jordan.
How do you measure that?
By wanting it more. I just asked you, what was Jordan's goal? What did he want to accomplish? Now, mind you, I'm a huge Jordan fan.
But what are you talking about?
This is what I'm
You're
talking.
talking
We
about a
started
guy
with
who
Devin
dedicated
Booker.
his whole game.
We started with Devin Booker.
He's talking about a guy that dedicated his whole game and mindset to the guy you're talking about that don't have the same mindset.
Understandable, but his mindset was different.
What was his mindset?
He was more of a go-getter. Kobe wanted to catch Jordan, so he wanted to go out there and kill and annihilate everybody on the court. Everybody's even said it. His work ethic was second to none.
We're not talking about the
to
work
where
ethic.
people couldn't even work with him if they wasn't on the same
We're
level
talking
as
about
him.
work ethic, though. We're talking about killing instinct.
But it all ties into one. Kobe, I just felt was on this tier. Jordan was on this tier. I just feel like Kobe wanted it more because he never
He
got
was trying to catch the guy that was ahead of him.
Exactly.
He killed everybody to get to where he was at.
But what does that have to do with Jordan's killer instinct, though?
You gotta kill all these people. Killer instinct. It takes killer instinct to kill all these people here.
Okay.
So what are you talking about?
So how do you measure that Jordan had it more than Kobe?
I never said he did.
But I'm asking you, did
I
he?
never said he did.
Because you started debating with me like now.
They're both on this tier. How do you sit there and say, oh, yeah,
because I felt like Kobe
I just
wanted
measured
to
it.
get
Kobe
there.
had a little more killer
Kobe
instinct.
wanted to get to the next level. Listen, that's another topic.
What are you talking about?
Obviously my intellect is way above
That don't even
yours.
make sense.
And you're not understanding. You can't,
You don't even understand
your
it.
mind,
You're sitting there trying to think of what you're
can't
doing while
grasp
you're-
the concept of what I'm trying to portray. So it's understandable that you
Oh my
can't
God.
keep up.
You're literally trying to think of what you're talking about
still
as
young.
you're talking about.
You're
it.
still young.
What are you even talking
You're still
about?
young.
What are you talking about?
I mean,
if you asked every NBA player of all time, say, hey, look, who has more killer instinct, Kobe or Jordan? They're gonna be like, well, they're both on the same level.
Let's create a poll. We'll create a poll and let everybody else vote.
Look at you like you're stupid. You're talking about the guy who's trying to be like that guy.
So let's see. Let's just see. Okay? Let's see who did what they say. But
Jordan
back to the
killer instinct when it was
I didn't-
time, when it was crunch
I didn't
time.
say he did
So
it.
how do you have more than the guy who's at the top level? How do
because you have
that?
a goal. You want to get there.
So Jordan doesn't have a goal just because Jordan didn't say, oh, I want to go get 6 rings. I want to catch this guy.
But
what are you talking about?
But my thing is, what was Jordan? What do you think? If you had to get okay, but we
to be
don't
the
know.
best. Who do they say is the best? So that he reached his goal. So that he has to have the top kill. If you want to be the
But
best,
is there not an argument of who's the best?
there's always going to be an argument. What's the consensus?
So, but is there an argument?
I
Because
don't
you
really
make
care. I
it
always
seem
think
like
there's some errors. I don't
you
really get
make it
critical.
seem like Kobe's just won't even be in the conversation.
What? I never said
Of the
what are you
greatest.
What are you talking about?
Because that's what I listen.
It's when
Killer
you start,
instinct.
Hey, when you start losing, you just
Killer
start
instinct.
trying to pull from anything.
How?
What are you talking
I stuck
about?
to my whole thing. You can't answer the
You
question.
can't even. You don't even know what the question is. What is you talking about?
Devin Booker, I feel, has
Who has more killer instinct, Kobe or Allen Iverson?
Kobe.
Why? How do you measure that? Allen Iverson don't have any rings. He was very much wanting to get a ring there, so his killer instinct to get those rings would be.
Yeah,
what are you
but,
talking about?
I don't think
That don't even
I
make
don't-
sense.
I don't think.
You lost.
But listen, nobody ever.
Got him, coach.
Nobody ever voiced it. Nobody ever showed it. I think as
Allen
much
Iverson?
as Kobe. Yeah, Kobe. Allen Iverson had a great killer. I'm not knocking him.
Allen Iverson,
Allen
wasn't
Iverson
going at
is
it
my
with Kobe
man.
and Shaq and talking trash jerseys up over there.
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about? And
Absolutely.
Allen Iverson has no rings. So wouldn't he have more killer instinct because he don't have as many rings? He don't
But
have
then
any
you're
rings.
right there chasing. You're at 5, trying to get to 6.
Okay,
you
and
don't
you're at
think-
none trying to get to 1 to 2 to 3 to
Yeah,
4
but
to
you
5.
got so much more to go.
So what does that mean? So
much
you got
to
more
go.
killing, you just
And I
fighting.
felt like
What are you
Allen
talking
Iverson let everything else destroy him.
And what does that have to do?
he
We're
didn't-
talking about other stuff. They're talking about killer instinct. You were talking about other stuff. What is
because he didn't stay focused. He didn't stay focused.
We're talking about his killer instinct. We're not talking about the work ethic.
But you can't
We
have
already
killer
talked about
instinct if
Kobe.
you're not staying focused.
What are you talking about?
Obviously, like I said, your mind is
Don't
too
even make
small
sense. That don't
to
even make
grasp
sense.
it.
You lost.
I lost?
Move on.
I lost?
Move on.
We can take the poll, we can make it, and we'll see what happens.
Make the poll.
Because I guarantee you, people are not going to understand
All right, so
what you're
back to this
saying.
Olympic roster because I don't even know where you went off with that.
I was talking about Devin Booker,
and then you
wanted to get all upset.
I said no. I said
You're
Devin
acting light skinned. You're acting light skinned. All right?
Team dark skin, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so listen, we're talking about
Turn the lights on. Somebody turn the lights on.
Listen, we were
the man
talking
said
about-
the other day he looks like Morris Chestnut. Please.
I said people walk by and they be like, yo, Denzel? And I be like, nah, chill out. Chill out. Anyway,
Yo, can we take a break?
anyway.
Can we take a break?
No, man.
Because the man said he looks like Denzel Washington and Morris Chestnut.
What you mean, man?
Come on, bro.
I
You're
just
drinking the water.
Just gotta get the
You're drinking the water, B.
I'm staying healthy. Huh?
I got that Ciroc in my cup, and I'm not even that crazy. You over there claiming team dark skin? Like, what's wrong with you?
Man. Anyway. So what are we talking about here? We talking about Devin Booker. You talking about Devin Booker is like Kobe. I don't see that there. Killer instinct, I'll give him that. Clutch factor, I'll give him that. But as far as the style, no. Kawhi Leonard is by far the closest thing that we've seen to a Kobe and Jordan as far as style. But anyway, we were talking about the whole roster in general. We had Bam Adebayo. You had Devin Booker. Kevin Durant. I like that.
Jeremy Grant.
Jason Tatum.
Draymond. Drew Holiday. Zach LaVine. Damian Lillard.
Like
now, this roster has two of the most disrespected people in the whole league, and Damian Lillard and Devin Booker. Can we agree on that?
No. Why is he disrespected? Who doesn't give Damian Lillard his props by
because they stay getting snubbed. I mean, this was the first year.
Team, but, okay, so who's he going over? You're not, I mean, Curry?
I'm putting Dame over Westbrook. Period.
Yeah, I would put Dame over Westbrook.
Period. In this year and the previous. Dame is a killer.
Dame is a beast.
And I'm not just saying that. Shout out to 4 Bar Friday on Instagram. Dame platform that he created for all artists to perform on and submit every Friday. Used to be a part of that. Shout out to Dame for that.
Damian Lillard. So look, Portland, y'all got to go ahead and let that man go, man. Let that man be free. Cause
where would you like to see him go?
My Lakers, of course. Come to the Lake. Come to the listen, you don't need CJ all up in the.
If you had the choice, would you take a Damian Lillard or an AD? You can only sign one. One comes to your team. Who you taking?
I mean, we already got AD, but if we just saying we had,
if we didn't have him and you was able to get one.
I mean, if I had to go off just ability, and if we just, I mean, if I'm taking with all the factors into consideration, you're gonna probably say Damian Lillard. But if I'm taking into the fact just of skill set and a player I'd want to keep for the future to build with, I would say Anthony Davis. But injury prone wise, it's tough at AD.
And I ain't gonna lie.
That's my dog, though.
I love AD.
That's my dog.
He helped bring us that ship. But he's soft, man. He's soft.
Some players are just like that. I can't say he's soft. Some
he's
people's
soft.
bodies just can't take it. Derrick Rose was the same way.
I understand, but I just think he's a little soft.
Please, Derrick Rose. Listen, I don't know what this whole journey that you're on to try to like go to the worst teams in the NBA.
Go New York, go New York, go. Stand up, New York. He's helping them out.
Goodbye. Come to LA, man. Please, come get your ring, man. Enjoy your career. Please come to LA. I'm tired of seeing this man on the Pistons, on the Knicks twice. Terrible. I mean, come on, man. Come to LA. Go ahead, man.
We're closing it out with Kevin Love.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people was upset about that.
Yeah.
That's a little interesting. I mean, but you got to think.
But you can't not because other people turned it down.
That's what I'm saying. Other people are turning it down.
And Kevin Love had a quietly decent year when he came back. Yeah. Quietly decent year.
Kevin Love, unfortunately, he's stuck right now in Cleveland. Yeah. He needs to get blessed with somebody getting him up out of there. But, I mean, that is what it is. I mean, a lot of these guys, we knew there wasn't going to be a lot of people that was going to try to do this. I give credit to even Kevin Durant, especially Devin Booker going through this, committing to it. Bradley Beal, he's trying to build off that great, tremendous year he just had. And a lot of times when these guys go to the Olympics, they have their best years right after that, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys, come from this year. Chris Middleton been making noise. Jason Tatum obviously coming off a great year. Zach LaVine coming off a great year. All these guys is trying to build off that year and go win some goals. So
I like it that we're giving a couple of the younger guys or some of the not as notable guys like Chris Middleton a shot here. Whereas
Jeremy Grant, though, I mean, he came off in a great year too for himself. I was like, wow, though.
Yeah, but I mean, people like LeBron, Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Donovan, Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry, James Harden. All declined. So
Steph Curry back hurting.
For ending up, and Steph deserves a break from putting the team on the back like you said. He deserves a break. But
not about. I mean, look, ain't nobody beating that team anyway.
No, not this year. No,
I don't see it.
No, not one of the more unbeatable teams that I've ever seen. But
not beatable.
No,
these guys.
No competition. And I think Jason Tatum and Dame Lillard gonna put on the show. I think they're going.
It's gonna be Bradley Beal too.
I don't see Durant playing heavy minutes.
You don't have to, but he's gonna do what he got to do when he does it.
Yeah, but I see Tatum.
This might be his last one too.
Yeah, but I see Tatum and Lillard really carrying the show here, and I can't wait to see what they got going on.
Draymond Green gonna come out with a 3-point jumper this year too, man.
Listen,
I think Draymond.
Good luck.
He gonna be shooting them in the Olympics.
Good luck with that. So since we are on the topic of the NBA players, let's look at our upcoming free agency, right?
It's a lot deeper than I thought it would be as far as the team.
Yeah, you really have to watch your mouth.
Yeah, excuse
okay?
me. Beg your pardon.
When you're over there talking
pardon.
disgusting like that,
Pause.
watch your mouth.
Pause.
All right.
Forgive me.
Not the most loaded class here, but a couple of interesting names.
Some sleepers though.
A couple of interesting names. There's a couple that stand out to me only because I want to see, right? First off, do the Lakers keep Andre Drummond?
I don't think anybody in LA would want him to keep Andre Drummond.
I just think they used him wrong. I think Andre he's still a beast on the boards and he can score, but when you got LeBron and AD, you don't want to. You're not running it through.
You're not saying
Andre Drummond.
Not a great fit then. I would say they don't keep him, especially with the type of backlash they got from Drummond playing and how ineffective he looked compared with those guys. So I don't think they bring him back.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
it would be interesting to see a team like Boston or somebody get him. Somebody that's needed interior.
Him on Boston would be very nice.
Boston's needed interior presence. So I mean, that would make the most sense for me as far as a player they should try to go and get. You know, they've really.
Did you write that down on your notes?
I just
okay.
Make sure I got the notable free agents anyway.
Okay.
I mean,
because you wrote a lot down on your notes.
I'm just I'm like to be prepared.
Okay.
You know, it's okay.
Yeah, you need it. Go ahead. What else?
Anyway, Andre Drummond. Yeah, Celtics. That would be a nice fit for them, but. Andre, yeah, I don't see him coming back to the Lakers. Unrestricted free agency too. Somebody else will throw it back at him.
You know who I see the Lakers possibly going for and may get on a one year deal is Spencer Dinwiddie. I would love to see Spencer on the Lakers because I know wherever he goes, he's probably going to have to take a 1 year deal as a prove it, make sure you're healthy.
I think somebody's going to throw a bag, and people forget how good he was, and he's been looking for the bag. That's the whole reason.
I understand, but after a big injury like that, who's just going to take the chance of throwing the whole bag at him? He may have to take a 1 year deal. A team like the Knicks,
a team like anybody that needs other players.
But
I
why
can see Miami trying to go get him if they could.
The Knicks are going to pay the bag and try to get Lillard or something like that. So
Knicks ain't getting.
We'll see.
Knicks.
So where you
James
think
Dolan retires? Nobody's going to want to go.
Where you see Spencer going?
Realistic. I mean, it depends on what team, like I said, throws the bag at him. I mean, you're going to probably be looking at more of the lower tier teams that obviously would want to take the chance on him. It's going to be very interesting, especially with a team with players like Lowry, Lee.
You going to blab the whole time or you going to let me know which team you think he's going to? That's all I need to know.
I mean, you didn't have to be disrespectful.
I understand, but you're sitting there. You're
I've been listening to you blabber this whole
but I'm spitting facts.
You're not spitting.
You sat there and you listened to me spit facts.
A killer instinct that's immeasurable.
You sat there and listened to me spit. It's a shame that I got to sit here and give you all this knowledge. You need to be using that pen that you use to take all this gibberish notes and write down what I'm saying. That's what you need to do.
What are you saying?
That's what you need to do.
What are you saying?
Sitting there blabbing. Just give me an answer.
Where's Spencer going?
Where's Spencer going? I said I would like to see him go to the Lakers.
We didn't say where we would like to see him. I'd like to see everybody come to the Lakers. We asked where is he going. So you just
he's going to the Lakers.
Oh my God, oh man, he want to come. He's going to the Lakers.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to the Lakers. He's going to the Lakers because I think he's going to get a 1 year deal.
I think he goes to the Heat.
Thank you. That's all you had to say, bro. Jesus Christ. DeMar DeRozan, interesting there. He's definitely not staying with the Spurs. Where's he going?
Unrestricted free agent too. I can see DeMar DeRozan. I can see the Clippers getting him because I think another person we obviously gonna have to bring up is Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard's out of there. So I think Clippers is gonna be.
You think Kawhi is leaving?
I think. Man, look. Unless LA really staying in LA means that much. I think he up out of there.
Because listen, this is the reason I think he stays.
Oh God, don't say playoff P. If you say playoff P, I'm done. I'm literally gonna close.
I won't even mention that nickname.
Playoff P.
What I'm going to say is, what happens if I didn't get hurt? Kawhi has to look at.
Okay. What happens if Kevin Durant didn't get hurt? You wouldn't even have the second ring.
Well, what do you mean? They're in
hypotheticals is whatever. But I mean, at the end of
but would the Clippers have made the finals?
Who knows? Would have Paul George would have been able to step up because obviously when he's playing with Kawhi Leonard, he's been disappearing.
That's why I say Kawhi stays. He's gonna say, you know what? I got hurt. We could have won this thing.
You've been there for 2 years. It ain't like you ain't been there, but you had 2 years.
So the first year, but listen, you can't be spoiled and think every story is gonna be a Toronto story where you're gonna go 1 year, win the championship.
But you did. So, I mean, why wouldn't you have real expectations thinking that this is a better team and I should be able to do what I did, if not better? Like, what does that mean? I would think so.
But the thing is, it leaves the door open for
The
have.
door's gonna be open. They're gonna want to throw a bag at him. But look.
Okay, so if he leaves, where does he go?
If he leaves, where does he go?
I think he stays.
A lot of
with the
people
Clips.
I've seen people trying to mention the Heat. I don't have faith in the Heat just because they've always they ain't done nothing since LeBron. I mean, I'm not talking about going to the finals with that Cinderella story, but I'm talking about as far as getting big names.
But Pat Riley's just too damn sneaky.
What's sneaky? Every year. What are you talking about?
No, when I say sneaky, it's just
Giannis, Durant, all these guys is always, the Heat, South Beach, the Heat, and they don't get nobody.
But what they do get is to the finals or to the playoffs. I mean,
talking about one trip. What are we talking about?
I understand, but he's got the right pieces. He's got the right pieces. Pat Riley's no idiot.
You just got smoked.
Yeah, they got smoked.
So what right pieces?
They got smoked.
You got smoked. So what right pieces do you have?
I think they got smoked because of poor coaching by Eric Spoelstra.
Poor coaching. The same guy that's been doing a phenomenal job coaching throughout these years, and now all of a sudden.
Yeah, when you have LeBron and them,
What are you talking about? Even after that,
you
just said they went to the finals. You just said they went to.
But listen what I'm saying here.
You just said bad coaching.
Listen what I'm saying
and
here.
You just mentioned they went to the finals with the same daggone piece.
Bad coaching there too. Because to me,
got to the finals.
Yeah, they could have. Listen.
Bad coaching, you got to the finals?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Bad coaching, you got to the finals with a team that...
Kendrick Nunn should have been starting over Goran Dragic.
Why? When? What are we talking about?
These playoffs. He should have been starting over Goran Dragic. That's my opinion. I don't think Goran...
Wasn't Kendrick?
No. They were swapping. But why? Why is there even a split at minutes?
Kendrick Nunn is the difference maker?
I think he's great.
Kendrick
I think he's
Nunn
a good.
Is the difference maker.
Do we forget how great of a rookie season he had?
Kendrick Nunn the difference maker?
No, I actually think the difference maker was releasing Jay Crowder.
Kendrick Nunn.
That was one example I brought up. You're looking for things because you're getting smoked like a blunt.
I'm watching you fry yourself here.
How am I frying myself?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But I think one of the difference makers was Jay Crowder.
Okay.
Defensive presence, good wing.
We're talking about Kendrick Nunn, right?
Go ahead. We're going down the list of players.
Go ahead, my bad. So Jay Crowder.
Yeah. Do you want to listen?
Go ahead, listen.
I'm giving you school lessons for free.
Okay.
Do you want to accept them or do you want to just keep acting like you know everything?
I'm letting you finish. Go ahead.
Or do you want to act like you know everything and fail?
I'm just letting you finish.
This is bad. This looks really bad for you.
I mean, go ahead, keep talking.
You know what I'm saying? It looks really bad.
You seem as if you like to talk. I like to let people talk who like to talk.
Go ahead, finish it. Go ahead, finish it. Watch this, Mom. Go ahead, finish it.
Go ahead, man.
What happened?
Go ahead, man.
Say the end of it. Say the end of it.
We're going to keep it PG, man.
Oh, now you want to keep it PG?
We're going to keep it PG. Man.
Okay, man. Come on, let's move on, man. Let's move on.
So, all right. Blake Griffin. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, Blake Griffin.
I like that. It's an interesting one. Unrestricted.
Did
he prove enough? Does he stay with Brooklyn? Did he prove enough to where it's like, look, because somebody throw, I ain't going to say a bag, because what are we talking about? I mean,
he's going to have the opportunity to get more money possibly somewhere else, but he's going to stay with Brooklyn. He's going to stay with Brooklyn for the same reason they're going to, what could have happened, Kyrie not get hurt. They'll possibly bring in another piece to replace Dinwiddie. He's going to stay. Bottom line, period. He knows that this is going to be his run at a title. There's not going to be a better position that he's going to be in on another team to possibly win the title than with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. Make the smart decision. They'll give him another small contract. He stays with the Heat. With the Nets, no doubt about it.
I think I'll agree with that. I think it's for the same reasons. They're going to want to try to prove something, bring that back. They had a night. It seemed like they were fitting them into the rotation properly there. It didn't seem like it was too much of a bother, and it's crazy to just think that they literally didn't have Spencer Dinwiddie. Obviously, all the health injuries with Kyrie, Harden, and then they also had LaMarcus Aldridge, who,
had a heart, man.
That sucks for him.
Shout out to LaMarcus.
Shout out to LaMarcus, and to retire early. Still had a great career, but man, they had him there. That's crazy to think about what they could have had. But yeah, I think he comes back, he stays there, just to run it back again with them. And they're the team that gave him the opportunity, obviously with Detroit. All that stuff happening there. So I think he comes back there. For the same reasons for this other guy that I'm about to mention here, who came back to the Portland Trailblazers there, Carmelo Anthony. Unrestricted free agent. Where does he go? Does he? I don't think he actually goes back to Portland.
I don't. And you're going to laugh.
When's he going back to the Knicks?
I think he goes back to the Knicks. I think Carmelo's going to end it in New York.
I think he goes back to the Knicks.
But I honestly see
know.
it.
Dolan there though. Dolan to me is just tough to.
I understand, but I think he goes back. Knicks give it one final little run. They're not going to win a championship, obviously, but they'll make the playoffs.
Does he start?
No. I think, listen, he got respectable minutes off the bench, and I think he respects that. Had he started or got started minutes, who knows if he would have been able to make it through a season healthy. I think he was managed very well, played a good role, averaged what it looks like 13.4 points a game. Not bad. At 37 years old, Carmelo Anthony, think he returns to the Knicks.
Okay. Carmelo Anthony returning to the Knicks. I'll agree with that one. I'll go with that one. Interesting one here. DeMarcus Cousins.
So,
shout out to my boy J-Rob. Another good friend of ours.
Yeah, shout out J-Rob. I appreciate you. All the love and support, too. Someone that I ran to with all my ideas and possible names and another 4-Ball Friday brother of mine. Shout out J-Rob.
Yeah, man. J-Rob. This is his boy, DeMarcus Cousins. He loved DeMarcus Cousins. He think he can still go out there and average about
a double-double.
15, 18, 10.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The injuries, I think, have caught up to him. Now, granted, I think he's still very, very capable. We just got to see. But as far as where he goes, that's a tough one. That one I'm really not too sure on. Because I don't know if anybody's going to throw money at him to be the starter. And I think he's still looking for that opportunity one more time to get that chance. That there is a tough one. I'm not too sure where he goes there. That's like one of them late signings I think somebody does. That one is a hard one to call for me.
So
where he goes.
So for me, I see possible 2 scenarios. I do see OKC as a possible landing spot.
Still got Al Horford though.
They got who?
Al Horford still.
Didn't they trade him?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't trade him in the Kemba. No. Yeah, he went in the Kemba deal.
Oh, okay, man.
He went in the Kemba deal, and they traded one of the centers in the Kemba deal, or Moses Brown, I believe, or something.
Maybe.
They gave up. So I do see OKC as a possible destination. Or I do think if Philly doesn't retain Dwight, they might go after someone like a DeMarcus Cousins.
Somebody that could be interesting if they keep the team the way they got it. Maybe Dallas. Maybe somebody like that. That could be. I think that could be interesting just to have another weapon down there. But it's tough. I don't really know where he's going there. I think that's just one of those late signings. Like I said, that's gonna happen. I see
Philly. I see OKC.
Philly depends. What about Dwight Howard?
That's why I said if they they let him go. Dwight might want a little more money. Who knows? Dwight to me can still go out there and get it done.
What does that mean?
Get a double-double, get a couple more minutes. He can still play 20, 25 minutes, I believe. He wasn't necessarily getting that in Philly. So I think OKC of them. But let's run back because we never fully answered the DeMar DeRozan.
I said Clippers if Kawhi Leonard leaves.
Clippers. I do see as possible Lakers scenario with DeMar DeRozan. Possible there. You could look at, I don't know, man. This is.
It's like not here for I don't knows, man. We not here for I don't knows.
Because my thing is, where does he stand right now? Like, he almost went forgotten.
Didn't he average like 20? Did he average like 28 points?
21, but it was like a quiet 21.
For a moment of period?
He had a very quiet year.
He did?
As far as like
San Antonio had a quiet year.
But that's what I'm saying, as far as
but
buzz.
That doesn't mean he did.
But his name wasn't popping like that.
He's on San Antonio. They're not doing good.
Understandable. But that's just what I didn't say it was. I just said he had a kind of a quiet year. That's all I said.
Okay, quiet year.
Just listen to what I'm saying. You pay attention.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Here's an interesting one. Lonzo Ball.
Restricted though. So I mean, it depends on what they want to do with that. If they feel like.
Do you think Bulls pull the trigger on making him play for him?
That would be a smart move. I think it would be a smart move. Do I think they would try? Yeah, maybe, but I don't think they're going to be able to match anything that the Pelicans could do. Mm-hmm. So I don't see him really realistically going anywhere with that.
Pelicans needs to go ahead and break that up. And the reason I say that, and this is going to sound crazy.
Everything you say sounds crazy.
Yeah, to immature mind. Oh. But I think they need to start looking at possible scenarios for Zion if it is true that he wants out of there. Just saying. I'm just saying. With a big man like that, jumping around and stuff like that, and he's not happy. What I'm trying to say is he could get hurt at any time. And if the man is not happy, best off trading him while he's healthy and while he wants out. That's all I'm saying. There was big buzz about him wanting out, and like everybody's scared every time this man takes off. He jumps so ferociously. He jumps high. Big men, they're always more durable. I just think now would be the time to go ahead and start looking at options for Zion.
Thank God he's not a general manager, because what is he talking about? Anyway, moving on. Mike Conley.
Another tough one.
Tough?
Yeah, I think if Philly makes a move on Ben, they might take a shot at Mike Conley.
Where does he go?
Who?
Mike Conley.
I want to say Philly or
Where does he go?
Milwaukee.
Where does he go? He says, or maybe, if, probably, I don't know, this. Where does he go?
Give me Philly.
Okay. He stays with the Jazz.
Think so?
Yeah, I think he got hurt, for that period of time. Like, what ifs? They were doing good. They had a tremendous season. Number one. Like, yeah, he comes back.
Not too many notable.
Are you kidding me?
Names.
John Collins, restricted free agent. I
think
see
he
the
stays.
Hawks stays.
He stays.
Reggie Jackson. That's interesting because he came on late in the playoffs there, really showed up.
I think he stays because I think Pat Bev is not as much of a factor as he used to be.
I'll agree with that one.
I think Reggie Jackson
Finally
stays.
said something that makes sense.
I think he stays. I think it makes sense for them to pay him to stay. I like Reggie Jackson there.
Reggie Jackson, okay.
What about Jared Allen and the Clippers and the Cavaliers? I think he stays. I think they love him there. I think he stays without a doubt. That goes without saying. This next one, shout out to my boy Lance. This is his cousin Trevor Ariza. Come on home to the Lakers, baby. I will always welcome Trevor Ariza back to the Lakers. That is my guy. Still effective. 9 points per game averaged.
That one, who knows?
I love Ariza. Come on back to the Lakers, baby.
Ariza just gonna go to anybody that gives him the bag there. He can always, he's the trustful 3-and-D guy. That one is just wherever he wants to go. I can't really even just say a team. That's unrestricted. Like
fact right here. Interesting fact now that I'm looking at the list. All Antetokounmpo brothers have played in the finals. 2 of them will have rings. That's crazy. Shout out to the Antetokounmpo brothers doing big things early in their career.
Yeah, the one on the Lakers did it. He really did his thing.
Yeah,
anyway.
He played no minutes, but hey.
Nah, man. They got to the league, so
he got 0.8 points per game.
Nah, but
listen, he got a ring. He got a ring.
He's
That's more than a lot of people can say. But that's dope. And another one that's interesting. Sorry, Tony Craig wins a ring.
Torrey Craig.
Torrey Craig wins a ring, whichever team he's on.
Yeah, all the half and half thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Torrey Craig, Goran Dragic, unrestricted free agent.
I think the Knicks let him go finally.
The who?
I think he goes to somewhere like the Spurs.
The Spurs. Goran Dragic, unrestricted free agent. No, I don't see the Spurs getting him because I think Goran Dragic still feels like he's still gonna feel like he's a starting point guard, and they got DeJounte Murray. I don't think they're gonna do anything with that. Goran Dragic, unrestricted. That's an interesting one. Goran Dragic.
A lot of places are capped at their point guard position. I don't know.
I could see. Goran Dragic. Because I still feel like I said, that's the start. It's the mentality, right? I still feel like he thinks he's a starting point guard, which he still is. But how many teams now are you going to go to?
Where's he go? Where's he going to start? Only place that he could possibly go and look at possibly starting, Detroit.
Yeah, but he ain't doing that.
Where else?
He would have to accept, just going to a team knowing that they're going to be in the championship or contended if he's going to do that.
I'm saying, where else? There's not really.
Goran Dragic. That's a tough one. I might have to mark that one. Think on that one a little bit. That's a tough one there. A lot of these guys, I feel like, obviously, typical with the free agency, they're gonna start coming off once the big names.
Yeah, they're gonna a little domino effect. Yeah,
that's gonna be a little tougher there. Like, we should probably mention the big names. So, like, did we even say where did you think that Kawhi Leonard was going? You said staying with Clippers.
See, this is the problem. You're gonna say he's not staying, but you don't know where he's gonna go. And obviously nobody knows because Kawhi's kind of been unpredictable. He's unpredictable. Mr. Funny Guy, he's unpredictable. Nobody saw him going to Toronto. That was out of left field.
But he got traded to Toronto. So you got to know
but nobody's seen it. But you don't think?
Know what you talking about.
Let me ask you something. You don't think he had any say in that?
We already got him, coach.
You don't think he had any say in that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Popovich said, "Oh, you want to leave? We're gonna ship you out of here.
Yeah, okay,
we're gonna
cool.
Go out. Cool. Goodbye."
Do the Lakers keep Alex Caruso?
The GOAT. Another one, we were talking about marijuana and everybody was jumping on that, like, give the man a break. Do the Lakers keep Alex Caruso? Yeah. Lakers keep Alex Caruso.
I think they have to keep the young, and he's a fan favorite.
Lou Williams, unrestricted free agent.
Lou's going to New York, baby.
Why?
They're going to bring those little veteran pieces in. He can still score off the bench. Let's not sit here and act like he's a bum. You saw what he did when he had starter minutes.
He did his job.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Why not? You might not get huge names, but get good notable players off the bench who could possibly fill in as a starter role. New York needs a little bit more scoring. They were very defensive, but they got shot down when it came to scoring against Atlanta. Lou will give me the New York Knicks.
Lou thinks goes back to Atlanta. I think Atlanta saw the value in him when Trae Young had to be out of there with them injuries. And obviously, I don't know how you can not see the value in Lou Williams. He does this every daggone year.
Only reason I don't say that is because they're going to have to pay John Collins.
I'm not paying them both.
We'll see.
Pay them both. And they had success. Now, granted, I don't know if they're going to do that next year, but I can't hate on them. They did their thing. We got a lot of people here. I mean,
a lot of bums.
Dennis Schroeder. Lakers, I don't think bring him back, especially with all that turmoil that was going on there. I mean, as far as even just for backup.
Give me Dennis Schroeder one more year with the Lakers.
Dennis Schroeder 1 more year with the Lakers?
Yeah. Give me one more year with the Lakers. I think he gives it one more round.
The answer to this one would basically be able to give me my answer for that one, though. Kyle Lowry, does he stay with the Raptors? Unrestricted.
No, but that's another reason, just to rewind, I think Schroeder stays with the Lakers because Drummond may not. And I think they'll give Schroeder a little bit more money. Do they bring in Lowry? No, I would see them bringing in DeRozan over Lowry, keeping Schroeder.
Where does Lowry go?
Lowry,
that one I can see the Knicks trying to throw a bag in again.
If everything falls through and they cannot get Dame, I think the Knicks may take a shot at Kyle Lowry. But I like Schroeder staying because I don't see Alex Caruso as a starting point guard for the Lakers. I think they noticed that Schroeder can get it done. He was arguably upset with his role, and justifiably so. I think he can be a starter on the Lakers, take the ball out of LeBron's hands a little bit more. They get rid of Drummond.
All right, so I see Kyle Lowry. I think he's out of there. I think he might go to the Knicks there, and then I think they might get Schroeder there in Toronto. Mm-hmm. And one of the last ones I did want to make sure we did cover, at least he kind of ran under the radar there, Victor Oladipo. Unrestricted.
Where's he at? He's in the Heat, right? He stays in Miami. Stays in Miami. I think they give my man one more shot. We share the same birthday, by the way. Shout out Victor Oladipo, Taurus gang.
I don't think he cares.
Taurus gang.
He doesn't care.
He does.
Anyway.
Victor Oladipo
stays
in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, because Miami doesn't get anybody, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say that they don't have to go back and get it. They're gonna have to just go ahead and keep Oladipo.
Whatever you want to say, brother.
What you can get there.
Whatever you want to say. Listen. Overall, what we did here today
was watch
you
literally
get educated
and lost.
No, but listen, I want you to listen. Pay attention to me. You got educated, but in a loving way, because I wouldn't have done this with somebody that I cared about. I seriously would have asked you to please exit.
Yeah, it's like,
because the way that I schooled you and in front of everybody, It's embarrassing, but you're my little brother, and it's tough love.
You looking like,
and you're gonna learn from
you're
this.
literally looking like.
You understand me? You're gonna learn.
You're looking like Mufasa, just hanging on to the brother.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah. I understand you.
No holds bar.
Yeah. And
Throw you off,
that was really corny. Please don't let everybody see your corny side, because that's embarrassing.
That was fire.
That was trash.
Are you kidding me? That's what they're gonna say.
That was dumb.
Oh boy, that was clever. We need to
No, I need to find someone else to take your seat, because that shit was whack.
Why?
Okay, listen.
Who else is gonna sit here and just listen to you babble all day?
Somebody with a brain to absorb
you
this
make
knowledge.
people lose their brains.
I understand.
Anyway.
And you speak to people without one. So listen, with that being said.
Speaking to you. You look at you. You don't even set yourself up. Anyway.
Listen.
Wrap it up.
Great job, I think. Taking an L.
Did a great job.
Taking an L. We're going to bring it back with the next one. We're going to have some more twists and turns for you. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned to No Holds Barred. Again, this is your boy Dane.
I know it was tough listening to him. Like he said, don't go nowhere, please. Look, we're going to try to make sure he don't talk as much, you know what I mean? I try to let him have it a little bit here. I'm a little tired, you know what I mean? But obviously I had to carry him throughout this. So, I mean, No Holds Barred is, what's your name again?
Big bro.
Yeah, you're right. Don't state your name. E, y'all know me. No Holds Barred. Y'all just see me win. We're going to get them $50 here on the next episode. Remember that. And we up out of here, man.
Yo, good show, baby.
Good show.
Good show.
Do that again.
And check us out. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. All feedback is positive feedback. We love you. Hope you enjoyed the show. We out of here.